all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. Dagla dang wa je pe dra no pa je pe geg. Tar pa dang tam she ken pe bar du jo pa je pa tam she ki so je pe. Manam ka dam nyam pe sem chen tam she de wa dang den. Dog now dang drel nor du la na me pa yang dag pa zog pe zhang ju brin po she to pa ja. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Te she du sang ma ge gi bar du lu na gi sam ge wa la ko. Ma she bar du lu na gi sam ge wa la ko. Du de ring ne song te ni ma sang ta sam gi bar du lu na gi sam ge wa la ko. We take refuge in the kind root and lineage lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. We take refuge in the kind root and lineage lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Transcend sawa dangur parje pe pal den lama dampa nam la kab suchiyo. Yedam kil gorgi la sok nam la kab suchiyo. Sangye chom den de nam la kab suchiyo. Dampe cho nam la kab suchiyo. Pape ge du nam la kab suchiyo. Pavo kanjo cho kyung song me song yeshe gi cheng dang dem pa nam la kab suchiyo. Taking the Bodhisattva vow. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma, and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to Bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma, and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. Shang Shu Ning Po Chi Ki Bar Sangye Nam La Kyab Su Chi Chodang Shang Shu Sampa Yi So Klang De Shin Kyab Su Chi Jitar Nongi De Shegi Shang Shu Tuk Ni Ke Padang Shang Shu Sampe La Pala De Dagrim Shin Ne Patar De Shin Dro La Pandandu Shang Shu Sam Ni Ke Gishin De Shin Du Ni La Pala Rimpa Shindu La Pajio. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Sangye Chodang Soki Chonam La Shang Shu Bardu Dagni Kapsu Chi Dagi Jin Soki Pe Sonam Gi Drola Penshir Sangye Ju Pasho. Four immeasurables. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Manam kadam yam pesam centam shwe de wadang de we gurdang dempa jorchi. Dugnal dang dunal gi gudang jwa war jorchi. Dugnal me pe de wadang mi jwa war jorchi. Nay ring jak dang ni dang dwell way, dang namla nay pa jorchi. Next we turn to page 10, 11 in the 101 book, the 7-limb prayer. We recite this in English one time. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind to all Tathagatas in the 10 directions, those who have already reached the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at present, and those Tathagatas still to come. Through the power of Samantabhadra's prayers, may all the Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I prostrate to them, multiplying my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. In each atom, I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by countless bodhisattvas. Thus, all space is filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through magnificent chanting, expressing the great ocean of their excellent qualities. To all Buddhas I make offerings of various pure flowers, flower garlands, of music, anointing oils, magnificent light, and fragrant incense. I make offerings to them of fine garments, perfume, and potpourri, piled high as Mount Meru, and arranged in the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to the Buddhas and make offerings to them, following the deeds of the great Bodhisattvas Samantabhadra. I confess to all Buddhas whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas in the 10 directions, of the great Bodhisattvas and Pratyeka Buddhas, those who have attained Arhatship, those who have entered the path to Arhatship, and all other beings. I request to all great protectors and Buddhas to turn the highest wheel of Dharma as a light dispelling the darkness of the beings in the 10 directions and leading them gradually to the enlightened state. I supplicate those Buddhas intending to pass into parinirvana to live long for as many eons as there are atoms of the earth in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offering, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Now page 12, the Sagarimati requested sutra in in English. Likewise be extinguished. Extinguish all enemies to my purpose. Whatever evil forces are in me, be defeated. Do this so that when I am victorious, all pure radiance melts into me, completely purified. Take all this knowledge, food, and drink peacefully, enjoy it, and be satisfied so that all obstacles may be destroyed. Be liberated from all obstacles, all general obstacles. Maras are defeated by this gesture of the Buddha. By reciting this mantra, may all the Maras be purified. As a result, may all the Maras be defeated. So next we do the 4 thoughts that turn the mind to the Dharma. So this is the method to develop a daily practice. So we recite this, the precious human life. So if you can see this on your screen and recite this along with us. So the first of the 4 thoughts that turn the mind to the Dharma is precious human life. So we will recite this and then we will have a contemplation of this when we finish. The freedoms and advantages so extremely difficult to obtain accomplish the purpose of human life. If one does not achieve benefit from this now, how could this opportunity come again? This kind of leisure and endowment is supremely difficult to obtain. When one obtains a body, which is easily lost, do not waste it meaninglessly, but rather use it to attain ultimate liberation, joyous result. So now please contemplate the meaning of this. You may read this quietly to yourself. So for this, we'll have a 3-minute meditation, contemplation. Precious human life. Okay. Next, we go to impermanence. These are 2 pages. So we recite out loud. Ka, no matter what has been done, nothing benefits at the time of death. Worldly activities, yes, they are lies. Ka, the 8 worldly dharmas are like a painted rainbow. Think you can put your trust in them? In the certainty of death and knowing that nothing remains long, quickly accomplish liberation. Impermanence makes departure certain, like the shadow of the setting sun. Abandoning laziness and indifference, blaze like fire in fierce diligence. This life is impermanent, like clouds in the autumn sky. Birth and death migrators are the same as actors in a play or dance. The life of beings is like lightning in the sky. Like water falling from a steep mountain cliff, it departs quickly, quickly. The nature of all phenomena is impermanence. Death is a certainty to all who are born. Death can descend any time, like a drop of morning dew on a blade of grass. Quick, it is time to make effort for the essence of the Dharma. So contemplate the meaning of impermanence. The 8 worldly activities are gain and loss, pleasure and pain, praise and blame, fame and disgrace. These are the 8 worldly concerns. So think about how much time we spend thinking about these 8 worldly concerns and how much opportunity there's been for us to think about the Dharma, our spirituality. So contemplate the meaning of impermanence. Okay. Next, we come to the suffering of samsara. Consider the suffering of beings in the 6 realms of samsara. Doing so, great fear and dread arise in the heart. In the 3 lower realms, and even in the 3 higher ones, there is not an instant of absolute happiness. I will avoid the root cause of my samsaric existence and practice the excellent path of peace to enlightenment. Contemplate the meaning of the suffering of samsara. Next is the karma, cause and result. Even if one were a king at the time of death, one's possessions, enjoyments, friends, and retinue will not follow. But wherever that sentient being goes, his karma follows after him like a shadow. The fruit of one's positive karma is happiness. Suffering is the fruit of negative karma. The inexorable karmic causation is the mode of abiding in all directions and all dharmas. Henceforth, practice the Dharma by distinguishing between what should be practiced and what should be given up. Exorable is the inarguable, something that karma cessation. Karma is a law of nature. Contemplate the meaning of karma, cause, and result. So these are the four thoughts that turn the mind to the Dharma and keep us there. These four thoughts are something that we repeat every day to kind of keep us on track. And whether we are a beginner or whether we're an advanced practitioner or we're the Dalai Lama, these four thoughts are indispensable in being able to begin our day and close our day, to keep us focused on who we are and what it is that we are doing. We are doing the method to meditate on loving kindness. So in order to do that, we need to think of what is the purest form of love that we have experienced. So we use our mother as an example. Now, the mother may be our aunt, may be an uncle, may be our father, may be an older brother or sister, maybe another family member. Maybe it wasn't even our family. Maybe we were raised in a foster home, or maybe we were raised in an orphanage or something like that. So we use the mother as the example of who that person is. So this is what we're trying to do, not to see differences between each other, but to see the sameness with each other. So this loving kindness is a huge part of that. This is the four kindnesses the mother has shown. So now Please sit in the posture and relax and contemplate the 4 kindnesses the mother has shown. Take a deep breath. Fill your lungs with fresh, clean, pure air. Bring the breath all the way down to 4 inches below your navel and hold the breath there. Expand your abdomen, pulling the air down and holding in your abdomen at your navel level. And then squeeze the abdomen, push the stale, negative, dark air out now through both nostrils. So we're forcing that stale, negative air out, and we hold that empty breath. So we've compressed the abdomen against the diaphragm, which is attached to the lungs and forces all that stale air out of our lungs. And breathe in again through both nostrils. Bringing the air 4 inches down below our navel and hold the breath. Fresh, clean, pure air circulating through our body. Exhale, squeeze out all that stale, negative air. Hold the breath. Inhale one more time. Exhale. Stay relaxed, keep your back straight, and contemplate loving kindness. The loving kindness that our mother has carried our body as she was pregnant. And contemplate how she risked her own life in order to bring us into life. And think about what she has taught us: how to walk, how to talk, how to take care of ourselves, dress ourselves, all the things that are necessary, her patience that she showed us, her loving kindness. Not to hurt ourselves, to be safe, not to hurt other beings. And think about the sacrifices that our mother made for our benefit. Maybe she gave up her career. Maybe she left school. Maybe she didn't have many things for herself personally in her closet. So many sacrifices, austerities, the simplicity of life that she was able to just keep so that we could have a good, safe place to live. The loving kindness of the mother. So in order for us to show loving kindness to all other beings, we think of the mother, that our mother is all other beings. We've had many lives. We've been born many times. We've passed away many times, only to be born again. So who's to say who has been our mother and to whom we may have been mother? But just as our mother forgave us when we did wrong things as we were growing up around the house, and she taught us right from wrong, we have to look at those who are coming at us with confusion, coming at us with hatred, with jealousy. And we need to recognize them as our mother. And be able to have forgiveness for them and to help them to relieve them of their suffering. Loving kindness of the mother. So next we need to meditate on compassion. How do we know compassion? What is compassion? Compassion is the actualization of that loving kindness. That when there is confusion from the loving kindness and there is anger, there is aggression, you have to have that compassion to be able to look through that negativity and say, oh, there is a cause for that. We may not know the cause ourselves, but those beings who are suffering, who are demonstrating that anger, there is a cause in their minds, in their hearts. And to show them the compassion that we would show for our mother, if our mother was coming at us with that kind of anger or confusion. So we visualize our mother in each of the 6 realms, the 6 human realms that we've talked about before. We think about the mother being tortured by demons in the hell realm. The demons that are causing her to do very, very negative things, very bad things. And if our mother was doing those things, we would have forgiveness for our mother. We would do everything we can to help our mother to overcome the suffering and to help her to avoid further suffering by not doing those negative things any longer. So those demons within our mother, if our mother had serious addictions that was causing her to harm herself or others, things that we initially didn't recognize, but as we got older and we began to recognize our mother as a human being, just like us, as a brother, as a sister, rather than just our mother, we begin to recognize that she has her foibles. she has her demons. And next, we would visualize our mother as a hungry ghost. Hungry ghosts are never satisfied, always miserable, insatiable, characterized by being thirsty and hungry all the time. Hunger and thirst to satisfy their fat, round bodies. Their long, thin necks and their very small mouths can never eat or drink enough to satisfy their hunger and thirst. But it also could be their jobs, their position in life, their responsibilities that they have. Some people are just very, very insatiable. They want to have more, and they don't want to share what it is that they have. They become very greedy. And if we saw our mother behaving in that manner towards us or towards other beings, we would have forgiveness for our mother. We would realize that there's something hidden within her life that is causing her to have these negativities, and we would help her to recognize those causes. So we look at all beings as being our mother, looking through their negativity, looking through their insatiability, through their greediness, say there is a root cause for that, and I will help them to recognize that and use that to overcome their negativity. We visualize our mother in the animal realm, being beaten and eaten by other animals, being ignorant of who she is, what she is. She's suffering from just animalistic qualities of sexual misbehavior, from ruthlessness, from just meanness towards other beings. If we saw our mother behaving in that way, we would have forgiveness for her, and we would try to help her to recognize the causes of her ignorance. So we see all beings as our mothers. So when we see beings that are being ignorant, that are misbehaving terribly, we have hope for them. We have practice for them, from our heart to their heart. And for human beings, we visualize our mother in the human realm, suffering sickness and suffering old age. We have forgiveness for our mother. We have compassion for her, going through her old age years, going through the sicknesses that come to us and the injuries that come to us as we get older. So likewise, we do that for all beings, visualizing them all as our mother, to be able to help them in every way that we can, have compassion for their suffering. And we visualize our mother as a jealous God, as a titan, a powerful person who has great skillful means, the great ability to do things, but not doing them with wisdom, not being guided by wisdom. And what results is conflict and heedless pleasure in their lives, taking advantage of other beings, building our own self-aggrandizement at the expense of others. If we saw our mother behaving in that way, we would do everything we could to help her to see the causes of her bad behavior. And so likewise, we would try and help all other beings who are behaving in the same jealous manner, taking advantage of other beings, to help them to recognize their negativities, their confusions, the causes of them, and to be able to neutralize them. We showing our compassion for them. And the mothers who are full of pride and have become desperate at the end of their lives, that they are having to face the reality of leaving this life and facing whatever truth that they have been able to suppress all their lives. This pridefulness is just a veneer. And so we have compassion for our mothers as they are like gods, as they are like devas, human gods, who have always known what to do, have great wisdom, but maybe not the ability to be able to actualize that wisdom, caught up in their own pleasures and not recognizing the suffering of other beings. So we have compassion for our mother in the God realm. And we use that to be able to recognize the suffering of other beings who are caught in their pridefulness, who are caught in their desperate attempt not to leave this life, to lose their power. So this is how we learn compassion, by visualizing our mother in these 6 realms and being able to use those lessons toward other beings who are suffering in the 6 realms. We are bringing ourselves together with all other beings instead of being separate from other beings. So contemplate for a moment the method of compassion. So next is the method to meditate on empathetic joy. The joy that we have within ourselves, that we have recognized, that we have brothers and sisters, we have Sangha, we have teachers, we have Buddha who is giving us these teachings, and we are recognizing these teachings within ourselves, and we have joy for ourselves, that we have good health, and that we have this human life and the ability to do many, many, many things. And we recognize this in other beings. We see the empathy that we have for other beings and what they are doing. So we recognize this joy experience. And we wish that all beings may have the happiness that is free from suffering. If there is happiness that is free from suffering, there is just pure joy. That they sustain that happiness that is free from suffering. They maintain that joy all the time. May we always have this joy. May the suffering of sorrow, the suffering of confusion not enter into our lives. We may still have sickness, we may still have injury, may have elements that bring confusion to our lives, but we are not attached to them. We don't have aversion to them. We don't have hatred towards them. We see them as challenges that need to be neutralized through wisdom, through patience, through diligence, through generosity. through morality, through mindfulness, awareness of what is happening. And this joy stabilizes, this empathetic joy. All beings want to be happy. So we cut through the negativity, we cut through the confusion that has been the cause of their suffering. And we give that sustaining ability that we are not causing them any undue strain, any undue cause for suffering. We give them cause to be joyous. Our joy becomes an inspiration for their joy. And we think of the method to meditate on equanimity, to see the sameness in all beings, to maintain calmness regarding all beings. May my mind remain in equanimity without attachment or aversion towards all beings. So even if our mother is suffering, even if our mother is doing terrible things, even if these beings are suffering in their own ways and they're doing terrible things, that we love them just the same. We have equanimity. We treat them neither with attachment nor aversion. It doesn't mean that we don't engage with them. We do engage with them, but we do it with the awareness of equanimity. That we will help everything we can. We will do everything we can. Not everybody is going to be able to respond. People are going to revert back to their habitual tendencies and to their confusions. Their karma will overtake them. But we still have loving kindness and compassion and joy for them, despite the fact that they may be out of balance. But yet we can see a balance within ourselves, and we want that balance for all beings. And we try and project that balance, that sameness to all beings. So this is the actualization of bodhicitta, a wholly enlightened mind. And not only are we having this bodhicitta within ourselves, but we are actualizing it with all beings, for all beings. This is how we start our day. This is how we end our day. During the day, we take a moment to pause and to reflect on bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the wholly enlightened mind of all the enlightened ones. And slowly, slowly, we transform ourselves into enlightened ones. And we can see the change through our bodhicitta, the way in which we are regarding other beings, in which we are helping other beings, the calmness that we maintain. And take a deep breath and hold it. Keep your back straight. Exhale and hold it. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Breathe in. And out. Relax. Breathe normal. So what we're trying to do with calm abiding meditation is to develop one-pointed mindfulness with no thought. So by looking at an object, helps us to do when we start thinking about that thought, we bring it back to looking at that object. So again, keeping our eyes just to gaze, looking out at a picture of the Buddha or some image that we have in front of ourselves, but it shouldn't be anything that we have to really analyze. Just relax. And we'll begin by taking 3 deep breaths and holding it, those cycles, and then just relaxing. When our mind wanders, bring it back to the image and just let the thoughts come and let the thoughts go. Don't chase the thoughts, just let them go. And this is what we're going to practice. So we're going to do this in 5-minute 5-minute sessions. So take a deep breath and hold it. Fill the lungs with fresh, clean, pure air. Expand the belly. Keep the chest neutral. Select your image that you are looking, that you're gazing at. Exhale. Hold the breath. Fresh, clean, pure air. Breathe in. Hold it. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Stay relaxed and breathe normal. Keep your eyes in a gaze. No tension in your body. Keep it firm, but not rigid. Take a deep breath and hold it. Exhale and hold it. Open your eyes. Stretch your arms a little bit. It's a break from the meditation, just a little bit. The first few minutes, you're still getting used to getting all the body position right, getting your eyes right, and so on. For me, that's the way it works. And coming back to seeing the image of the Buddha helps me to remind myself, oh, this is the image that I am performing here. Here I'm seeing the image of the Buddha and realizing this is the spiritual within myself. It's something beyond just being a human being. But yet it's within the capability of being a human being. Okay, let's do another 5-minute session. So keep your back straight. Take a deep breath. Exhale. And gaze at the image in front of you. Your mind wanders. Just bring it back to the gaze of the image. Not requiring too much thought. Just letting thoughts go. Calm abiding. Take a deep breath and hold it. Exhale and hold it. Open your eyes wide and stretch your arms. Taking a short meditation break here. So now we'll do one more 5-minute session, but this time we're going to do it with no object. So we're going to do Shamatha, calm abiding meditation with no object. So just stay relaxed. If we need to come back to the object, by all means, come back to it. But try and release any fixation, any attention to any object. Just try and stay relaxed. So we take a deep breath and hold it. Exhale. Take a deep breath and hold it. Exhale. Stay relaxed and open your eyes. Dorje Chang, Talopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma Lord Gampopa, Pagmadrupa, Lord Drikumpa. Please bestow upon us the most auspicious blessing of all the Kagyu Lamas. By this virtue may I achieve the all-knowing state, and may all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara by defeating all enemies, confusion, the cause of suffering. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind. Where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have good health. I pray that the Lama may have long life. I pray that your Dharma activities spread far and wide. I pray that I may not be separated from you. As Manjushri, the warrior, realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I share bear fruit. By the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Trikumpa Ratna Shri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of yidams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Yogins, Yoginis, and Dakinis, dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all sentient beings in samsara and nirvana, and the innate root of virtue, not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or rebirth as a Sravaka or Pratyeka Buddha. May all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, misleading Maras and the hordes of demons, experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such and the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo. Om, Ah, Hum. Om, Ah, Hum. Om, Ah, Hum. May my body, speech, and mind become inseparable with the body, speech, and mind of all the enlightened ones for the benefit of all sentient beings.